Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am shooting this video from Antalya in Turkey. It is actually 7 a.m. here and I am really pleased to be able to shoot this video and share my thoughts with you around actually things I've been reflecting on whilst I've been away. And that is actually to do with being on holiday and some of the skills perhaps that I have actually personally probably had to use and skills that I think are relevant in our health and well-being world as well. So let me dive in and start with skill number one, and that is time. Now, coming on holiday, as many of you know, if you go away, whether you go abroad or you go anywhere where you travel for a few days, you will know that actually it takes time to plan the journey, to decide on the destination, to think about all the things you're going to take, who you're going to go with, when are you going to go, what time of year. So many things that need to be considered. So time is, really important skill in terms of how we use that time, and really acknowledging that time is something that we need, something we need to use efficiently to be able to achieve our goal. Now, if you think about it from a health and well-being perspective, then we need to give ourselves time to be able to think about a particular area of our health, our lives that we perhaps might want to change or improve. So giving ourselves enough time is actually really, really important because it sets you up to succeed rather than setting you up to fail. And the reason why I say that is because I see many people that actually don't give themselves enough time and they give up or they think they've failed. But actually, when I sit and I talk to people and really understand what's going on, what I realize is they've not given themselves any more than a month to achieve a goal. So the next time you perhaps think about, time and how long you're going to give yourself to do something, just think about this in terms of when you're going away and how long it actually takes, especially if you're going abroad, the time it takes to be able to, really get those things done off your list, to think about where you're going, how you're going to get there, and all of those things. Okay, so number two is patience. Patience, I would say, again, is a skill that, we all need to master. We all need to, give ourselves that space, that time, and that sort of calmness with ourselves, being calm, being in that moment and really thinking about things with clarity. As I said in my previous video, we live in a quick fix world and we want things done very instantaneously. And actually, if you think about going away, for example, we need to give ourselves the time and patience to be able to make decisions, to be able to buy the things we need, to be able to actually get to that destination. We don't just book a holiday and off we go. Often we book holidays months in advance before we actually get to that destination. So think about this in terms of your health and well-being goal. Give yourself that sort of space and be patient with yourself and just see the difference it actually will make. Okay, skill number three is being organized. This actually is probably the foundation to patience and time, because when we are organized, it means we use our time effectively. We use it, to get things done. And when I say that again, to get things done, I mean we actually, get those things done. We are probably less likely to procrastinate, to waste time, to kind of overthink things. But actually what we end up doing, if we give ourselves that space in our diaries, we are likely to get those things done. So just think about this in terms of your holiday. You need to be pretty organized to be able to go away. You need to think about all those things, like, for example, your passport. I recently met somebody who wanted to go away, but their passport expired. And because they're a non-British citizen, they had to, wait longer than usual to get a passport and didn't end up going away. So you see, being organized just means, looking at your 24-hour clock, looking at your 7-day week, even a month, and just planning that time. I'll give you an example in terms of weight management, where I've done this so many times with patients and clients, where I'll ask to look at their 24-hour clock, and often I get the look like, well, what's that got to do with me losing weight? But actually, it's got a lot. There's lots of evidence that shows that being organised is a key skill when it comes to weight management, and there's lots of other skills there as well. But being organised with your time is really helpful, because it helps you to be able to plan your day. It helps you to be able to kind of engage in activities like moving your body, eating healthy. But before you can actually eat healthy, you actually need to buy the food, you need to cook the food. All of that takes organisation. We can't just get that done in the moment. Being organised also, from a physiological point of view, the brain loves it. You will know from my previous videos, I love talking about the brain, because actually the brain is connected to the mind is connected to the body. So when you're organised and you set yourself up in terms of the time of day you're going to do something, how long you're going to do it for, how often, the brain loves that because it creates safety. Again, brain loves safety and routine, and it means you're more likely to kind of get those things done. Okay, the final skill is self-care. Now, I call it a skill because I think that anything you repeat over time not only becomes a habit, but you become a master of that habit. Therefore, it's a skill. So, if you can practice self-care, which means being kind to yourself, looking after yourself, that's going to serve you well, because it gives you that mental clarity. It rests the physical body well. For example, chances are you have a good night's sleep, which means you're going to be more energized for the next day, more focused, more rational. So there's a lot to be said about self-care. But self-care can go beyond just the physical body. Self-care is about connection. It's about engaging with people, friends, family, engaging in your hobbies, for example, things that you value, things that are important and meaningful, all come under the umbrella of self-care. So when you think about being away, just think about the things that you do when you're away. Like for me, I like to do some yoga, I like to swim, I like to eat all the healthy stuff that I probably don't often get the time to make. I like to just try new things. These for me are all looking after myself, looking after my mind and body. But thinking about the things that we kind of need to do before we go on holiday. So for some people, they'll go for a haircut. Some people go for their nails, other treatments. There are so many things we do to kind of feel good before our holiday, or actually look good whilst we're away and also feel good as well. So, we spend that time and effort when we are thinking about our holidays, and it's really thinking about your everyday life and making that a bit of a holiday by actually engaging in some of these activities. It doesn't have to be haircuts every week. It's something that's going to recharge you and make you feel good. So it could be a walk, it could be a coffee with a friend, it could be reading a book, anything. Giving yourself those sort of 10 minutes a day is just, going to kind of switch you from feeling maybe slightly, anxious or feeling a bit low to feeling tired, to really flipping that coin and kind of making you sort of reset and ready to go again. So those are my top 4 skills for kind of health and well-being goals, and really reflecting on those holiday skills that we all use: time, patience, organisation and self-care, and trying to kind of keep them at the forefront of your daily lives as well. Remember, these things take time, so just start with one area of what I've discussed today and just see how you get on for the next few days, or give yourself a week. So I hope you found this video useful. Please leave any likes, comments, anything else that you would like me to kind of share with you when it comes to building skills for your health and well-being goals. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you again in my next holiday video.